Yay! We are live. Welcome, everybody, to Longhorn Lester's Live Shack. We are here at Longhorn Lester's. I'm trying to clean myself up a little bit. I've been going all morning. I've seen a couple of people have gotten here early. I know you can't see me, but I can see you. And so someone's saying, I don't see anything. Where are you at? Diane says, where are you at? Diane, I'm here. I'm just trying to get myself presentable. Hey, everybody. It's nice to see you, Misty and Dee Dee Sue. Dee Dee Sue. How country is Dee Dee Sue? Where are you from? Dee Dee Sue. Oh, they're going by. I've already lost it. I noticed Dee Dee Sue and then it was gone. What a cute name. It's you know, good afternoon, everybody. I need to let me say hi for a little bit first. Let's just talk for a second. Stephanie Earl. So it's nice to see that both Facebook and YouTube have finally made it in. YouTube gets alerted early. I don't know why YouTube will alert everyone early and Facebook will not. So you might be wondering why we're going from the Longhorn Lester, Facebook and YouTube. And I will just say that, and I think that y'all might know this from the recent comments on the Facebook video we made about the banquet that we had here, the Jamie's get together, that a lot of people were really upset that they come to see I'm a Survivor and they got to see Longhorn Lester's. And so it's for no other reason. I'm not asking anyone to subscribe to this page. I've told y'all all along, I will try to find different content to play on here, but it's not a marketing scheme. It's just to let everyone know that if you're here, you're here. I'm not trying to impose on I'm a Survivor's people who only come for farm animal rescues and nothing else. And funny that you hear that a lot more than what you think that you would. But yes, I did go to Facebook and I went and said I was going to go live from the Longhorn Lester's channel Facebook, not the I'm a Survivor Facebook. And hopefully that can help us eliminate a lot of drama. Let's just say drama. Who has time for drama? I know, right? Drama is my middle name. Yes, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. I said yesterday when I did that little short live with the puppies that I felt like Jamie and I have just run ourselves a marathon. Now, to be honest, I've never run a marathon, so I have no idea how that would feel. I did run a 5K a couple of times when I was in my 30s. But that's been 20 years ago, y'all. And I don't run now if I don't have to. And if you've ever seen me run, then I think that you understand why a guy my age would kind of go ahead and just not run if he doesn't have to. I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger. I think I can maximize this, not minimize, maximize. Enter full screen mode. Boom. And there we are. So, I saw someone says, Kathy Casey says, I watch every channel. We're very blessed to have you, folks. Dee Dee Sue, I'm Oklahoma. Dee Dee is from Oklahoma. Well, Dee Dee, I was there recently. And what a beautiful part of the state that I found myself in. I went last Saturday to visit a friend named Sean, Dutch. You guys may know him as Dutch, keeping it Dutch. And he and I went out to his new property. And I'm sorry, I'm just reading while I talk, to do some stuff, which was a lot of fun. He had this property for a while, and he and his wife had not had a whole lot of time to do much with it. People get busy, and he had found on his his recording device, they have the security cameras like we all do, and someone was walking around his property at night. And so it worried him because there's actually places, there's an old bus that someone used to live in. There is also an RV that someone used to live in. He said that the former owner of this property was just kind of a hermit. He had former military, left the military with a whole lot of conspiracy type things in his head, didn't really trust the government, didn't trust a lot of anybody, banks, or anyone else. And so the guy found as far a place off the beaten path as he could, and he bought him some property, and he lived in a bus. And woo, I'll tell you what, the guy roughed it, but you know what? That is true living off the grid is what this guy did. He truly lived off the grid. And so the problem is Dutch wasn't real sure, when you have people who, I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but we'll just say squatters. We'll just say someone that squats on your property. Sometimes they can begin to take ownership of it and not want to, give it up. And so when Dutch saw this fella who was lurking around his property on the security cameras, and the fella was carrying a knife. I mean, it was obvious to see the guy had a knife in his hand. Who walks around with a pocket knife pulled open as they're scouting around? And so that right there tells you that it was just kind of scary. So Dutch didn't want to have the wife and kids back over until he had a chance to go by and look over the entire property. And it's 130 acres. There's caves and all kinds of neat rock formations. And he just wanted to, check it out. And so he did an all call to anyone who wanted to go with him. And I'm like, you know what? It was Saturday. And I knew that Jamie and I had been working our tails off, getting everything ready for her big event. And I just wanted to have a little bit of a break. And so who goes on a break to Oklahoma to clear a property from squatters? Yeah, that would be me. But no, it was neat. It was eastern Oklahoma, and we were northeastern Oklahoma, right there in the foothills of the Ozark Mountains. It was cold, yet it was beautiful, beautiful cold. And we drove out to the property, and we took our rifles and just had a good time in walking around, checking things out. So it was obvious that someone had been staying there, squatting there, if you will, and they're going to have to find a way to. I don't know. They're so far off the beaten path. You really would not want to approach somebody living somewhere or staying somewhere, because a lot of folks take. I don't know. I don't know what could happen. I don't know what could happen, but my mind just thinks the worst. And I would hate to see it if my wife and kids ran across somebody who was squatting way out in the middle of nowhere. And so, bottom line, we were able to walk most of the property over and found out that there was no one living in the caves. There had been someone staying in the bus and the camper, but there was no one there on that particular day. And hopefully, the faster they get all that stuff cleaned out, I would listen. My personal opinion, I says, Dutch, Sean, just haul the bus out of here. I'm sure you could sell it for scrap iron and just haul it out of here. And why even give someone a place to camp, to stay and squat? Same for the RV. It's not worth anything. It's not nice. It's old. It has holes. It's not a fancy thing. So I think that once he clears out the drive going up, he has to do some bulldozing to get some trees out of the way. And I think he's going to probably have someone come by and pick those things up. And that'll make it a lot safer. Believe it or not, that would make it a whole lot safer. Anywho, where are we? Where are we at? Where were we at before I got started on the whole thing with Sean over at Keeping It Dutch? I was blessed to have a few people from his page jump over and start watching our videos. And you learn real fast that your channels can be different because you're in fact different kinds of creators, but it's still interesting content. And so it's been real nice getting some emails and reading some comments from people that have been friends of Sean and his family for a while and are now, oh, no, y'all, stop. Don't be going with all that. Ignore the haters, No, it's not about haters. We're going to do the right thing, though. In case you hear noises behind me, Those are cats. I have cats running all over the place. Yes, I have cats in the camper. Cats in the camper is what we're going to call it. And there's a reason we have cats in the camper. How many of y'all know? I'm going to try to read some comments. Hi, Vanessa. I'm going to try to read some comments to see if y'all know why we might have our cats in the camper right now. I'm looking to see if anyone knows why we might have cats in the camper. I'm still watching. I'm seeing a lot of comments. Yes, we love cats. But do you? Oh, okay, Rhonda. Oh, here they come. Here they come. I don't know who was actually first, but now everyone is seeing it. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna pause. There. They went so fast. Once you guys got your fingers to working, boy, they begin to pop up like crazy. And so mice. Who would have thunk it, y'all? Seriously, Jamie was doing a live from the camper maybe a week or two ago. And while she was doing a live, some of you saw a mouse run right across there. Jamie never saw it. Poor Jamie. She never saw it. She never saw it, poor baby. She's sitting here doing her live and she never even saw your comments. And then I was in the tub and I'm trying to help moderate and I'm reading comments and I'm seeing that someone said there's a mouse. And so then I got the giggles now, guys. I'm so sorry because I got the giggles now. But I went back and we began to scroll back and look, and sure enough, lo and behold, she's sitting there just having herself a timeout Tuesday, and she does all of her cheers to you, and here we go, ladies, and let's just do it the way woo-hoo, you know how us girls do, and y'all are doing all that timeout Tuesday nonsense, and there's a little mouse running across the screen right here behind her, and I thought to myself, how in the world can this RV be sitting in that shop? And we have at least 5 or 6 cats here, at least 5 or 6 cats here. Don't make me name them all. Do not make me name all the cats. But I will say that when we saw that, we opened the door and we let the cats come in, and now we're feeding the cats. We're feeding the cats inside here because why would a mouse what kind of a you know what does that mouse have to be able to say, you know what, I know that shop is occupied by a lot of cats, but I'm going to live in there anyway. And so I've not seen the mouse, but I'll tell you what, I'm jumpy, and because I don't like mice. And so every noise that I hear, I look around and I'm just happy to see that there's a cat over there and there's a cat over there. There's actually cats in the bed. Y'all want to go see them? Y'all want to go see the cats in the bed? Let me peek and I'll see if I can take you with me. Do not judge, okay? Do not judge, y'all. Please do not judge. This is cute though. Oh my gosh, look at this. Hi, babies. Hello, babies. This is a. I know. We got cats in the bed. Is this the funniest thing or what? So any cat, any mouse wants to come in this shop or in this RV, they're in big trouble because you can see these guys are on high alert. Don't Gunsmoke, or I'm sorry, who's that? Fireball. Do you have to do that right now? Do you have to do that right now? Cats are funny. He's a good boy. Good boy. Yeah, so there's mice inside the camper. So now we're scared. We got our mouse patrol out and about. Let me plug this thing back in. Yes, someone said I woke up the cats. I did wake up the cats. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the party. I was real happy to have it over with. So happy that it's over with. But I will say, I really enjoyed meeting Jamie's coworkers. And for all of the things that Jamie has said about her coworkers over the 5 years that she and I have been together, I saw none of that. These guys are great. Okay, well, I'm trying to love, and that cat does not want to love. That's Nikki. Nikki, I wanted to love you. She come over here like she wanted some loving, and now she's rubbing my leg. So I can pet her, I just can't pick her up. She wants me to love her. She doesn't want y'all to see it, though. So I really enjoyed meeting Jamie's coworkers because, oh, yeah, and before I leave, let's talk about the phone. Let's talk about the prank. Okay, let's talk about the prank first, y'all. Let's talk about we're just going to do the prank first. Just give me a second. I'm going to send the prank to this. And if y'all will let me do that real fast, I want to talk about the prank. And so some people don't know what we're talking about with the prank. They haven't seen the video yet. But yesterday at school, I picked up Lex and I did a prank. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull it up so we can all watch it together. That's why I love using StreamYard. They let you do stuff like this. But okay, here we go. I'm going to pull this up. Give me 1 moment. Present this. I'm looking for a video file. Right here it is. Nope. Right there. Nope. Right there. Nope. Right here it is. Okay. Now, this was recorded up and down. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of a precursor to what happened. You know that I get Lex from school on Thursday afternoons. And so I set my camera. What I did was I took my camera and I set it over here on leaning against my windshield. I'm trying to show you. I was leaning my camera. Hold on. I had leaned the camera. So here's a steering wheel, and I had leaned the camera over here to kind of like face us. But I couldn't leave it like this because Lex would see it. So I turned it where he could only see this side. Now, obviously, this is not going to draw as much attention as seeing yourself in the camera. So I set it there along the window, leaning on the window. And when Lex gets in the truck, I did a prank. I tried to prank him, and I couldn't see what I was recording because obviously the phone's turned the other way. You can't see what you're recording like that. You can only see when it's like this. So let me show y'all the phone prank or the prank. It was so darn funny. And Lex, oh my God, he's such a sport. Let's go ahead and we'll get the prank out of the way. Then we'll move on to the party. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. Hey, bud.
Hello.
He's such a sweet.
How's everything going?
It's good.
How was school?
It was alright. It was kind of boring, but
Kind of boring. All right, but kind of boring.
yeah, I'm about to pass the history test on you.
Well, hurry and buckle up.
Okay.
So it was kind of fun and kind of boring, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You got ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All this trap.
Stop it. Ouch. I don't like those wet willies. That's gross and nasty. Stop doing that.
So what are you doing in school? What are you working on?
We have to.
So what are you doing in school right now? What are you working on?
Well, I'm doing World War I right now.
World War I? Oh my God, that's the most boring thing ever.
Kinda. I mean, I just started on it, so I don't know if it's fun or not.
I don't know much about. Well, I'm serious. I will pull over. I will pull over if you don't stop it.
That is the grossest thing. Who does that?
I don't see anything.
Well, the wet willies, Lex. You don't imagine wet willies. You don't just imagine wet willies. You know what a wet willy is?
Yeah.
They take their finger and they stick it right in your ear, and I hate that. I can't stand that. Anyway, good to see you. We're gonna get on the road. I'm gonna pull over. I swear I'm gonna pull over. I'm pulling over. I'm gonna pull over. I'm pulling over right now. I am pulling over, and that's it. I will pull off my belt. I got a spanky stick belt. I will spanky stick you right now. Sorry, Lex. It's nothing about you. This is nothing about you.
Oh my
I'm pulling over.
Poor Lex. I feel bad for him. Look at him. I feel
Lex. Lex. Look. I was trying to prank you. I was trying to prank you.
No.
You thought somebody
Wait,
was.
actually?
You thought somebody was back there?
I was wondering why you kept doing that.
I want to watch this video so bad.
No.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I think that the funniest part was, I'm gonna try to find it. When he pulls the hair out of his eyes and he starts to try to adjust, he's like, yeah, I can't zoom in, darn it. I'm gonna try to scroll. Here we go. Watch my son. Look at his face right here. Look at, oh my gosh, look at his little face. Look at his face right there. And then he can't seem to find anyone back there. Move, kitty. And so what he does, watch right here. I'm trying to scroll forward real slow. He pulls the hair right here. he pulls the hair out of his face because he has long hair. And if you watch his eyes, he's trying to adjust his eyes. I don't know if there was a sun glare or if he just thought he was imagining things. Watch his little face.
I will pull off my belt. I got a spanky stick.
Do you see his eyes?
Belt. I will spanky stick.
Look at his little face. I love him so much, y'all. He is just such a joy. I want to play it one more time. Let's just play it one more time, can we? One more time, and I promise we'll talk about the party.
Hey, bud.
Hello.
How's everything going?
Good.
How was school?
It was alright. It was kind of boring. But
Kind of boring. All right, but kind of boring.
yeah, I'm
Okay, here we
about
go.
to pass the history test on you.
Well, hurry and buckle up.
Okay.
I should have been smarter and had my.
So it was kind of fun and kind of boring, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You got ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All this trap. Stop it. Ouch. I don't like those wet willies. That's gross and nasty. Stop doing that. So what are you doing in school? What are you working on?
It happens.
So what are you doing in school?
So I don't know if you could hear him, but he says, "What's happening?" And I just completely ignored what he asked. He's like, "What happening?" And I just completely ignored what he asked.
Right now, what are you working on?
I'm playing World War I right now.
World War One. Oh my God, that's the most boring thing ever.
Kinda. I mean, I just started on it, so I don't know if it's fun or not.
I don't know.
Poor kid wants to talk about school, y'all. He just wants to talk about school, about World War One. He's not real sure if he likes it or not yet because he hasn't had a chance to really get into it. They're just starting the unit on World War One, and I can't let the kid finish his sentence because here we go again.
So much about I'm serious. I will pull over. I will pull
I don't know what he's thinking
over
right
if you
here.
don't stop it. That is
He thinks that I see someone that he can't
the
see.
grossest thing. Who does that?
He's looking left and looking right.
I don't see anyone.
And then he says, "I don't see anyone."
Well, the wet willies, Lex. So you don't imagine wet willies. You don't just imagine wet willies. You know what a wet willie is?
Yeah.
They take their finger and they stick it right in your ear, and I hate that. I can't stand that.
So,
Anyway.
right here, look, he gets his phone. Now, this is what baffles me. He gets his phone and he is feverishly texting somebody. And I'm almost certain he's texting either his mom to come get him or my mom to come get me. I don't know what he's doing, but he got his phone out and he begins to text someone like feverishly.
Good to see you. We're gonna get on the road. I'm gonna pull over. I swear I'm gonna pull over. I'm pulling over. I'm gonna pull over. I'm pulling over right now. I am pulling over, and that's it. I will pull off my belt. I got a spanky stick belt. I will spanky stick you right now. Sorry, Lex. It's nothing about you.
I wanted to make sure that he knew I wasn't mad at him. You don't want to greet your kid at school and immediately just start being mean. And so I wanted him to know that it wasn't him. It was the person in the back seat who kept giving me wet willies. That's why I was maybe overly apologetic here, because I could just see the concern on his face, and I didn't want him to be scared. I didn't want to scare him, even though I scared him.
This is nothing about you.
It's
I'm
nothing
pulling
about
over.
you. He's still
Lex. Lex. Look.
Oh my gosh. And look at what
I was trying to.
I don't think he still realized what was happening. He saw the phone and he saw his dad laughing. And so he, at this point, had to have known, oh, I must have been punked. I'm getting punked right here. And that is exactly what was happening. For the people who are asking what's a wet willy, it's really horrible. Let me go ahead and remove this. A wet willy is horrible. A lot of kids do it at school. I don't know why anyone would ever do this, but they lick their finger and they come by and they put it in your ear and they wiggle it around. And it's just the grossest, nastiest thing. But it's something that kids do at school. Thank you. We got a cat on guard duty here who's going to keep me safe. Woo, well, boy, that was fun and that was funny. And I love Lex so much. He and I have a lot of fun together, but I don't do a lot of pranks. And now I'm afraid I've started kind of a pranking war with him. But you guys are such good sports, and he enjoyed reading the comments I put it on a Facebook reel, and then I put it as my the beginning to my video this morning, and I do have it coming out on YouTube in a couple of days. I don't want to run the same videos, back to back on both channels. I try to avoid that at all costs, because I really do appreciate the double dippers, those that can come to all the channels and enjoy the content and not realize that, oh, I've already seen this already. I've already seen this one already. Kitty, baby, I don't know why you're so, she doesn't want to be held. She doesn't want to be held, but she wants to be close. And so that happens sometimes. Kitty photobomb, says Lisa. That is true. Okay, so can we go ahead and just leave and talk about the party, the big party? I will first of all say how blessed we were to have Jake, Bennett, Brienne, Sister Kim, our friends Chelsea and Abby, Amber. I'm going to forget a lot of people. Miss Pat and Mr. David, next door neighbors, Mr. Kenny. Oh my gosh, this feels like when you get called up into the front and you have to present you get an award, you got to present, and you don't want to forget anybody. And I'm just going to say that I'm going to forget somebody. I already know that for a fact. I'm going to forget somebody. But it took a lot of people to pull this off. Now, Jamie and I were the ones who did all the cleaning and most of that stuff. But I'll tell you what, we had one sweet lady, a former school teacher, who kept sending us different ideas for our games to play. And it was a lot of people who wanted to help out. And so, yeah, Ben is Bennett. And thank you for the, Allie says, I'm a double dipper too, Lester, a double dipper. I love that. Sister Kim built that bar, and that was just gorgeous. But let me show you real fast this first little video scene of this afternoon, this event. So these are the three, my nephews and a niece who showed up to help on that particular day. You weren't real sure what you're going to get with Jake and Bree, especially, and Ben. You never know what you're going to get. Well, with Ben, you do. Bennett, you always know what you're going to get with Bennett. You always know what Ben's going to give you. And then here comes Jake and Brienne showing up, and they're here to help. Now, Ben is going to be the bartender because it was an open bar. And that right there is the bar that Sister Kim built. But Ben, he takes his job very seriously. And he's the guy that goes home and studies and reads and YouTubes how to make all these drinks. And when he gets over there, he's trying to find out where all of the strainers and all these different things are at. And where's the milk? Oh my God, you got to have milk for White Russians or whatever. And Jamie's like, whoa, Ben, we're not doing like that. It's just going to be like beer and maybe, you know, bourbon and just like basic drinks. And Ben's like ready to get out the margarita. He's ready to go. But once we explain to him, it's kind of more of a simple type of bar. Mostly there's a lot of coolers on each side of the bar, and they can just walk up and grab them a beer if they want one, or you can mix some things if you want to. He was fine. Jake and Bree were going to be more or less kind of help around the party. But this is all before we got started. And you can see, I knew at this point over here that we were in trouble. This is where I knew we were in trouble. So we are starting a video of this afternoon, this event. So our caterers are all here. Hey guys, no one's looking at me, okay? But our bartender is here, along with a couple of patrons who come to the bar. Now, what we're doing right now is giving Ben a hard time. We need to get him ready for what may happen in this next hour or so. And so Jake is giving him a hard time. Bree's giving him a hard time. What are you drinking already? Oh, you can't talk about it?
I'm having a margarita.
Bree's having a margarita.
I will drink on the lightweight.
What did you make for me, Ben?
You are not old enough to
You're
drink.
old enough. You're not going to drink. You're not old enough to drink. Can we get in trouble for him being a bartender?
Yes.
Oh my
No,
God.
No,
I'm
I
over
think
18.
only in like
No,
a...
we can.
Yeah,
no. I'm
no.
over 18.
He doesn't have a TABC license.
This isn't a place that needs a TABC license.
He's
Of
making
course,
all
you
his
have to
money
have
from alcohol
drama when you get all of
service.
this
I'm over
together.
18.
You
He's not
gotta
making no
all-
money.
Maybe since this isn't
We
a
ain't paying.
professional establishment, he actually can't be around alcohol.
No, I'm over 18. I can't
Get,
drink
I've been
alcohol.
waiting on a club soda for 10 minutes over here,
You
Billy.
didn't put enough ice in my cup.
You're getting kicked out. Those of you are getting kicked out. I can't stand
Could I-
Jacob, you're
I
being
cannot
belligerent.
I think you- I
cannot
think-
stand bar whores. Get
I
out.
think you forgot the alcohol in here.
Bar
It
whores.
tastes like straight Gatorade.
Are you some more? You want
No.
to get fucked up tonight? Come on. let's
Stop
go.
it. This is my video,
Oh,
Ben.
I'm sorry. He made us say a bad word.
It's going to be a fun day, y'all. It's going to be a fun
It'll be a
day.
fun day.
It's going to be a fun day. Let's see what you're wearing, Brienne.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay.
Now this is how Bree dressed to a very formal.
Yes, the
event.
thing.
I was getting ready to do my walk.
Easy, Bree. It's the family channel.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'll cover up a little bit.
All right, show us again.
Okay. I'll just show
That's the T-shirt,
That's
y'all.
awesome.
That's her
That
is
T-shirt.
awesome.
Okay.
Jake, what are you wearing? Oh, boy. Born to fly,
Forced
forced to work.
Yeah.
All right, Ben.
I have to keep myself covered until...
So that was cute. They all took their roles very seriously, and well, hey, listen. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. We said early on that we're not going to fake it for anybody. Why should we? Why should we? Every one of us are in a position, thank God, that we don't have to fake it anymore. We don't have to be PC, politically correct. No more. We don't have to. We don't have sponsors and we're not getting paid. All we have to do is make you happy. Enough of you happy. If we can make enough of you happy, then we're going to be fine. And so we don't have to play those silly games. And so Jamie knew that. And so whenever her boss suggested that they do their retreat at Longhorn Lester's, Jamie had more reservations. But the thing is, it's kind of like she had to explain to them that, listen, have you ever watched any of our videos? Do you know like who we are? And he says, I don't, but my wife does, and she loves you guys. And so hey, as long as they know that we're going to be ourselves, we're not going to put on some kind of a dog and pony show. We're going to be ourselves and have fun. And so that's what I explained to Jake and Bree. And I'm like, hey, you know what? They watch, well, we actually sent them some links, a little bit about us. Jamie and I had to record a video that talked a little bit about who we are, what we do. So for any of the co-workers who were coming, the executives and the medical professionals who were going to come, who were not familiar with us, we wanted them to kind of be aware of who we were and what we do for a living. And so they had the same, remember the little skit that we did for Surviving? I'm a Survivor. I'm a survivor. Survivor, survivor. So where it shows all of the disaster of what is I'm a Survivor. So we sent that to them, but we changed the words. And so they saw from that a lot of the animals, a lot of the antics, a lot of the drama, a lot of the hilariousness, a lot of the goofy. So they knew what they were getting themselves into. And that's exactly what Jamie's boss wanted. His name is Lenny. And I really liked him. I hear his name mentioned on occasion, and Jamie's always like, today, whenever Lenny's going to be on the Zoom, then everything, Jamie gets extra dressed and she sits up straight and tall, and everyone knows that Lenny's going to be on. And so when I heard that, it kind of worried me that Lenny's going to be here. This guy, Lenny, is going to be here. But at the same time, I don't answer to Lenny. And isn't that so rewarding to know, Kitty, that's my drink. Isn't it so rewarding to know that no matter how much of a big shot these guys may be in their realm, in their world, you're in my world now. You're in my world. You're a part of my world today. And part of my world, that's a cattail. That's not a mouse. That's a cattail. A part of my world is Jacob and his antics, Brienne and her antics, Bennett and his, what would you like to drink, sir? Or whatever Ben's doing. And we weren't going to change that for anybody. No, that there may have been a time and a place when you have to change and conform and make everybody happy and, make sure everyone is, all is no longer. That is not, no, we are going to be real and fun and funny. And we were. And I'll tell you what, I learned real fast that whenever I met Lenny, he's a swell guy. He is a really swell guy. And he was just as intrigued as what we do and our backstory and all of the neat things that are happening here. And he actually asked me to get up and share our story. I did do that. I got up in front of the entire crowd and I shared our story. Y'all want to hear a snippet of it? I'll play you a snippet of it if you would like. It's long. My speech is long. I don't know why they would ask me to present or talk, because they know I can't shut my mouth once I get started. But it was a pleasure getting up in front of the group and presenting my story, the I'm a Survivor Hurricane Harvey story. But let me show you, before I do that, a couple of more of the antics that we got into. So this is so Jake was going to be the one to use his phone as the DJ. He was going to play his phone and Bluetooth it to the stereo. So this is, I don't know if this is going to help our party or hurt our party. You're not going to hurt the party? He's going to help the party. What in the world? Hold on, where's the boss at? Let's get over here, man. Jake, now come on now, Jake. Not doing anything. You're not gonna do it. So that was the caterers. At that point, the bus had not arrived. At that point, it was just us, me and Jake, Brienne, Bennett, and of course, Jamie was trying to get ready. Jamie's hair dryer went out, y'all. The 30 minutes before everyone was going to arrive, Jamie was in the shower getting herself ready for the big event, and her hair dryer went out. And so we had to run real fast to the Dollar General and get her a hair dryer. And so she was, at this point, you don't see her because she was just a nervous wreck trying to get herself all done up. Me, Jake, and Bree had already begun drinking early, just to test out Ben's drink-making skills is all we were doing, to test out his drink-making skills. And so, so at that point, we were ready. We were just ready, y'all. We were ready. And the bus arrives, everyone gets off, and they were immediately drawn to the big birds. And who wouldn't be? I mean, you have all 5 of the sweet birds in their one pasture who followed the bus up the driveway. And so as the bus is pulling up, here come all these birds just running alongside the bus, looking at them. And so it truly did look like a scene from Jurassic Park. I don't know exactly what scene that would be, but here are these birds and they're running. Poor Wanda is like trying to hobble, and then Tina's like just doing her thing. They look like a ragtag shit show of an operation. The Longhorns are all sitting there just watching. Dixie and Beverly are sitting there, and Beverly's hee-hawing like crazy. Over on the other side, all the goats are all running over because this bus is big news. It's a limousine bus, and so it's big news. No, we don't see limousine buses around here, right? And here comes this bus up the driveway, and everyone is just like all swarming to the bus. So as soon as they got off, we walked them around, and we wanted to show them a little bit before the rains got started because it was going to be a rainy evening. And so we didn't have rain at that point, we got everyone off, and then here we go. Let's cut back to Jake. Big wig. So we're sitting here with a bunch of big wig medical executives. Now listen, in this scene alone, that's Jamie's immediate boss. Oh, you can't see my mouse, can you? You can't see my mouse. So in just in this scene alone, the fella right there with the red cup is Jamie's immediate boss. He's the guy who she has to work with every single day. He's the guy involved in every meeting. And so he's kind of a big deal. And then if you look right behind him, you see Brienne right there with the holy jeans, and then the fella who's beside the guy with the gray hoodie, that's Lenny. Now Lenny is the CEO of the CFO. No, I forgot. I don't know all the C's. I know you can't say chief anymore. You can't say chief anything. So it's CEO, CFO. You got all these big shots, but the fella right there with the boots, and he's kind of holding his cup here at his chest. That's the main guy. He was the one that made all of this possible. He's the one that put the money up front to get the caterer and for whatever materials or supplies that we needed for all of the alcohol and liquor, which is still here because they didn't take it with them. The big space heaters, the carpets that we had to buy for the shop. Man, they were really serious about this. And so of course we all walk out and they want to meet Carl. They'd seen a lot of videos about Carl. They'd all heard about Carl. So they wanted to see Carl. My initial plan was to keep people away from Carl, but no, we all go look at Carl. And sure enough, as you can see here, there goes Jake. Jake gets down and he has to dance. We can't just all look at Carl. No, Jake has to actually dance for Carl and make Carl dance back. And so that was really fun. Jake and Bree Bennett did an amazing job. They helped us so very much. And, I will say this, and I'm certain that you know what I mean. Let me go ahead and close that particular window. But don't you agree that your host and your hostess and those that are helping you cater and those that are making circles and mingling in the crowd make a world of difference in any party? And so I was sitting there and I greeted everyone as they got off the bus. I shook every hand and introduced myself to them all right there. And that was important because they needed to be greeted by a big old goofy smile. There's nothing formal here. Yeah, I'm shaking hands, but I'm wearing boots and rubber boots. And it was just, hey, I'm Lester. I'm welcome. I'm Lester. Come on in, make yourself at home. And that was awesome. And then once they went inside, there was Jake and Brienne, and they're just going around and mingling. Neither one of them have anything that they're just so uninhibited with everything. Sometimes that could be bad, but sometimes that can be good. And to have Jake and Brienne just walking around and just greeting and making everyone feel welcome. And Brienne just latched on to Lenny, who she knew was important, and made him feel good. That sounds horrible, doesn't it? That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Sorry, I hope Brienne's not watching this. But no, Brienne was just she made everyone feel welcome, and she would walk them to the bar and introduce them to Ben. And it was just a really neat experience. And now I will say, and I don't even know if I should talk about it right now. Things are going so good. We got 3,000 people out of both platforms. And that's a really nice audience. And I don't want to mess anything up here when I say this, but I will go ahead and just let it out of the bag that there were a lot of people, maybe even you, many who were trying to be respectful, but you still were unhappy of some of the games that we allowed our new friends to play. And that's exactly what we did. We planned it, and we already knew ahead of time that it was not going to be seen real well by some of you, but that's what we wanted to do. And don't think that at this point, guys, in the 5 years of doing social media, that we don't know how to look ahead now and think about how things are going to affect the page down the road. And so for as many people that were super, super upset with those chicks being handled, and then for the folks who were even more upset of the goats being dewormed by untrained professionals, and the little bit of chaos that might have ensued as you had these 20 strangers walk out and run out into the goat pasture, grabbing goats and deworming them. All I'm going to say is this. What we did in about 5 or 6 minutes as a collective group of medical professionals saved me an entire day, my friends, an entire day of having to catch every single goat, drag them over, put their horns between my legs, get my syringe down the throat, squeeze, label, mark as being dewormed, officially dewormed. And so, hey, I say kick rocks. I got that from you. If you want to be mean and be mad because we let them handle chicks, I don't guess you've ever been to Old McDonald's farm, have you? I don't guess you've ever been to a petting zoo in general, have you? Because you go to any petting zoo and you're going to have a section where little bitty kids can go. I mean, little kids in diapers, and they hand them chicks and bunny rabbits and other sweet little animals. And trust me, you see kids hanging and dangling rabbits by their ears, y'all. Now stop it. Just stop it. Sometimes just, oh, hush. It's just want to say hush with all of the nonsense. And yes, we picked up chicks and they held chicks. And I promise you, I give you my word, cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye. Not a chick is struggling right now. None of those chicks are in the corner with PTSD and they don't have the shakes and all that. They're fine and they're doing wonderful. And all shut your pie hole and kick rocks barefoot. Wow, Charlotte. Children are like bacteria bags. And I will say this, we had 4 large containers of hand sanitizer, and these medical professionals were making certain to use their sanitizers as they went about it. But, as far as the goats go, we knew for a fact that you're not going to hurt a goat. If you've seen the goats and know about goats, these guys were great. They grabbed them by the horns, which is what we told them. They had to pull them by the horns, which is what we told them. The same thing I would have done. And they had someone else administer the dewormer into the side of their mouth, far enough in to where they weren't going to spit it back out. And I could not have been happier. And so for anybody on the I'm a Survivor Sanctuary Facebook, and for all of the HELL you were trying to give us and how you're not going to watch anymore, well, then do what I'm saying. Read my lips, like the former presidents have said. Read my lips, kick rocks barefoot, and shut your pie hole and go watch other channels. And please don't ever go to a rodeo where they do calf scrambles and where they do mutton busting. You know mutton busting, right? Where they put those kids on the backs of sheep. Guys, grow up a little bit. And our chickens are fine and our goats are fine. They've all been dewormed and they're fine, okay? Everybody had a great time, and we gave all of these folks an experience of a lifetime. They took out, we gave them green peas, frozen peas, and carrots to feed the ostriches. So they were able to walk along the fences and let the ostriches eat from their hand. Dixie and Beverly got more loving than they've gotten in a month. Yes, Jamie loves them every day. I love them sometimes. But go touch grass. Go touch grass. Bailey, you are just too kind in every way. Bailey, I want to see the fire. Where's the rage? Bailey, come on. Let's have some of that. But yes, and then everyone began to realize that, hey, wait a minute, Lester's making us do his job. Yeah, Lester made you do my job, and it was great. And so I pulled one over on them all. But as a matter of fact, right now in the video that I made for Longhorn Lester's for next week, a lot of the goats still have tape on their horns. I got to catch them all and pull all the tape off. But I had to make sure that the tape stayed long enough to make sure that they had all gotten dewormed. Only 2 out of the entire group did not get dewormed. That's because they were too fast and no one could catch them. But seriously, guys, it was we were asked to give these folks a different type of experience, something that they don't get to do on a regular basis, maybe never. And that's exactly what we did. There was not a doctor or an executive in the group who was not just laughing and having the time of their life. And there was no one faking it. There was no one who was pretending to enjoy themselves that was miserable. No one sitting there on their phone texting the whole time. People had an amazing time. And so they came and we conquered. Does that make any sense to you? Came and conquered. Whatever. We did it, and now it's done. And so the neat thing is, yes, and no medical professionals were hurt in all of this. So anyway, it was awesome. I did go back and reworm the other ghosts. Oh my God, Shara, I almost forgot. Guys, there's so much more. There is so much more. The Argo ride. Yes, we did. A lot of folks wanted to ride the Argo. And so we made Jake go with them. That was part of Jake's job, is to be here and go with them. So as everyone knows, hold on, Julie Oliver is making a confession. Confession time. Now, Julie is in New Zealand. I woke up in a peepat mood that morning and was slightly miffed at the fact that these bigwigs didn't realize that they were in the presence of a global star, Winch's B. Ringo. Yes, they didn't realize. And that's beautiful, Julie. And I'm sorry you woke up in that kind of a mood. But no, we made Jake go with them and escort them on the Argo. Jake rode in the back so that they could experience the front seat and the driving and all of that. They were allowed to go through water. You got to take the Argo in water. It's made for that, y'all. And I promise you, the Argo people are not upset. They are more than happy to show off their product. That's how that works. But we do have great video. Jamie worked that afternoon after they all left that evening, and she built that first video. But we have so much more footage that we're going to share with you guys throughout the course of the next few weeks, because you couldn't put it all in one video. I do believe that video was 25 minutes long. And at some point, you just can't keep going. People don't have time to watch an hour-long video. They don't. So, aloha, Janice. So, it was a lot of fun. Val is demanding. So, Val is demanding to know which 2, Lester. Val, I've already said this twice. I went by yesterday morning and I've already dewormed the 2 who did not get dewormed. So why does it matter which 2, Val? Anyway, Jake did the Argo. We have a whole lot of neat video going to come out over time talking more about this. Yes, so someone brings it up. I love that your neighbors were spying, and that is true. So after everyone left, since all of the barbecue had been bought and paid for, we weren't going to let it go to waste. So anyone who wanted to take a to-go plate with them were able to. And then we called all of our neighbors and says, hey, if you guys want to come eat, there's a lot of leftovers. And sure enough, Mr. Kenny came and got a plate for he and his wife, and then some. They also took Pat and Dave come and got some for them and their family. And so that was awesome. But when someone says, who were the neighbors spying? It was really cute because Miss Pat shared a story with us. Now, this is after everyone had already left. Miss Pat shared a story that her and David were so invested in all of this. David and Pat were so invested in what was going on here, and that they could not stop from spying. So they walked along their fence line. I love them. They walked along their fence line in their camouflage jackets and boots, and they were peeking at us from the hillside. She did not want all of the animals to run over, because when they see Miss Pat, they run over for a snack. Y'all know that. Miss Pat did not want anyone to run over for a snack. So instead, she hides in her camouflages. She and Dave did not drive her Easy Go or her Easy Pro, whatever it is, the little golf cart. Nope, they put on their camouflages and they hide in the woods, and they're watching us. And then Kenny says he come up behind the back fence line, and he was watching and listening also. Kenny can't see from his property. He could just hear. So he was listening all of the stuff going on. And hey, if y'all have not done this yet, you have to look at this video that I put on Facebook, Longhorn Lester's. It played this morning, and it talked about Miss Pat and Mr. David and all that they were doing throughout the week, and how they were trying to help get us ready for the big event. And so one thing I did not put in that particular video is the morning of the video, or the day, they actually got on their Easy Go. Is it Easy Go or Easy Pro? It's an Easy Go, a golf cart. And they went up and down the road, making sure they picked up every bottle, every piece of trash, every beer can, because when that bus pulled down our street, they wanted to represent and make a good impression on the executives and the medical professionals. And I love them, y'all. I love them. And in that video that I made this morning, it's Easy Go. Thank you. In that video I made this morning, I will say that, hold on, Lester Tom Sawyered Jamie's bosses. Yes, I did. If you mean by giving them a real taste of redneck and hillbilly, yes, I certainly did that. And it was cute because whenever I presented and talked, I made sure that I mentioned how a lot of folks would find it difficult. The Jamie that you know, how she could ever find herself hanging out with a guy like me. And now we've been together for so many years. And I explained that Jamie is a fixer. And Jamie has this internal something about her, and she needs to fix. And so Jamie has found a lot of success at her work by being able to problem solve and fix. Y'all, she manages doctors, for Christ's sake. She manages doctors. And so she's always having to fix things. And I don't mean schedules. She doesn't schedule like, okay, so Dr. James, you're working from 4 to 8. That's not what she does. She manages. And that means it manages clients, doctors. When there's a dispute, she manages, and she has an entire region that she manages. So she works with hundreds of doctors across the entire central time zone, from as far up and as far south as these great United States run. She has doctors and hospitals all along the way that she manages. And so, yes, I said that Jamie's a fixer. And so even though you all know her around work as the fixer, she fixes for you guys. Guess what? She also fixes for me. Now, she ain't going to fix me. She ain't going to fix me. And I made a joke about that, that Jamie's not going to fix me. There's no fixing Lester. I made that a point. I'm not here to be fixed, Jamie, but she can fix everything else around me. And she's great at that, fixing things. And so they kind of got it at that point that, yeah, Jamie's just the grand fixer. and she just has to fix. And so she found a man that was broken, and everything in his life was just broken and falling apart. And she swooped in and began to fix. And that's what she did do. So listen, I've kept you for an hour, and I really shouldn't be doing that. So I apologize. But I want to say just, I will give you my opening speech. And I thought this was hilarious. But I got it on a video, but don't make me find it and post it. I will post it in a upcoming, hi Ann and Dale. I will post it in an upcoming video, I promise you. But when they called me up to sort of bless the food and kind of talk while everyone was enjoying their dinner, um, so I'm trying to put it into exactly how I said it, but I said, I said, it's a real blessing having you all here. It's a blessing meeting you all and being able to put a face with a name. And I said, but I do have a question for Lenny, the big boss. And of course, everyone got quiet. And I'm like, Jamie, you have to come stand by me. And Jamie's like, and I'm like, no, we're going to talk about this. And so I called Jamie over to the front with me. And I says, Lenny, and I didn't say Mr. Lenny. I'm just calling him Lenny. I'm Lester. He's Lenny. I don't care how much money the guy makes. He's Lenny. Okay. Because he's at Longhorn Lester's. Anywho, so I says, Lenny, I says, I watched the news and I heard that our economy is in quite the slump. I says, but I never really paid much attention to it until Jamie said that all of you, that you all wanted to have your retreat here in our shop. Anyway, it was a joke and everyone got the humor in it. And we ended up turning it around to talking about how it wasn't because Lenny's trying to save money, not at all because of the economy, but the fact that Lenny wanted to give everyone an experience that they have never experienced before. And it was a lot of fun. And it was a beautiful opening to getting everyone to laughing and enjoying themselves and realizing that you friends are not sitting in a banquet hall or any kind of ceremonial, anything fancy and formal. You're in our shop, and you're in the same shop where we raise baby chicks and baby puppies, and where we sometimes unload hay, and where we have to work on a tractor and change the oil on my lawnmower. And you all are sitting in the same shop that used to house this wonderful. Anyway, we had a great time. And thank you for the kind person who says, I think that we're all a bit broken. And I'm certain that we are. I'm certain that we're all a bit broken in our own different ways. But we enjoyed paying that blessing forward, because I will say this, and I will say this, and I will never stop saying this, that you don't know how blessed we are and how we owe everything. Oh boy, everything that we have become to you all. And it bothered me a little bit when people were taking the video that we posted and looking for anything to, trying to twist it into things. But I'll tell you what, we had a great time, and there were 20 folks who left out of here who had a wonderful time. We even got the caterers to participate and enjoy, and they had an amazing time. We got the bus driver off the limo bus to have and play around and mess around with us and feed some birds. And it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. And we wouldn't trade any of that for anything, because it is our duty to pay blessings forward. If you find yourself in a position to pay a blessing forward, then it's your job to do that. That's your job to do that. And I believe that our Heavenly Father would be pleased to know that you're doing things for others. So was it lots of work? Yes, it was. Will we do it again? We're going to say no, but absolutely in a heartbeat we would. And so be it the principals that we came to the sanctuary last year, or all of these folks that came to Longhorn Lester's this year, or, you know, the many of folks who are able to visit with us through the videos that we make, you're very welcome here. And we're just so blessed to be a part of your lives, and even more blessed that you allow us into yours. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the live. I want to say thank you again for being so supportive. If you haven't watched the video with Mr. David and Miss Pat, I'll also play that on Facebook, YouTube, but you have to give me a couple of days. And so anyway, guys, we love you very much. Thank you for joining me today for this. And I will say from here on out, on my Lunch with Longhorn Lesters, those are only going to be on Facebook and YouTube, Longhorn Lester. We're going to just keep the I'm a Survivor crowd out. Nothing wrong with those that watch I'm a Survivor and Longhorn Lesters, but there's a lot of people that do not want to mix. They came to the page in search of farm animal rescues, and all they want to see are the farm animal rescues. They don't want to see anything else going on with tractors or the Argo or the ostriches, or you name it. And it's just tiring. It's tiring having to delete all that stuff, and just I'm not going to mess with it. So Jamie will still do what she does, and we'll come together on Sundays like we've always done on all the platforms. But whenever we do the Longhorn Lesters, it will only be on a Longhorn Lester channel, so as not to deal with all of that nonsense. So thank you all for loving us, and thank you for laughing along with me this morning. Let's play that Lex thing one last time. There's no better way to end it. Let's watch it one last time. End right here.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God. I love that boy. I love that boy.
Hey, bud.
Hello.
How's everything going?
Good.
How was school?
It was alright. It was kind of boring, but
Kind of boring. All right, but kind of boring.
yeah, I'm about to pass the history test on you.
Well, hurry and buckle up.
Okay.
So it was kind of fun and kind of boring, huh?
Yeah.
All right. You about ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All this trap. Stop it. Ouch. I don't like those wet willies. That's gross and nasty. Stop doing that. So what are you doing in school? What are you working on?
It happens.
So what are you doing in school right now? What are you working on?
I'm playing World War I right now.
World War I? Oh my God, that's the most boring thing ever.
Kinda. I mean, I just started on it, so I don't know if it's fun or not.
I don't know much about. Well, I'm serious. I will pull over. I will pull over if you don't stop it. That is the grossest thing. Who does that?
He's like, who's back there?
I don't see anyone.
Well, the wet willies, Lex. You don't imagine wet willies. You don't just imagine wet willies. You know what a wet willie is?
Yeah.
They take their finger and they stick it right in your ear, and I hate that. Can't stand that. Anyway,
He's texting. He's
good to see you.
his mom. Come get me. Dad's crazy.
Get on the road. I'm gonna pull over. I swear I'm gonna pull over. I'm pulling over. I'm gonna pull over. I'm pulling over right now. I am pulling over, and that's it. I will pull off my belt. I got a spanky stick belt. I will spanky stick you right now. Sorry, Lex. It's nothing about you. This is nothing about you. I'm
Not
pulling
you,
over.
Lex. It's not you.
Lex, look.
I'll end it right there. Guys, things are always funner and gooder when you have people that you love hanging out with. And I really have had a lot funner and gooder time today than I've had in a long time. So thank y'all, and thank you for loving us. We'll go ahead and end the broadcast right there. Nice to see you all, and thank you.